And IRS agents packing heat. Why is the government arming so many federal employees? Who are they preparing to do battle with anyway? Is a new wrinkle on the gun front. I found an opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal. It was rather alarming. I think you might find it the same way. More and more federal employees are being armed, and I'm not talking about military people in the military or police. Some IRS agents are being equipped with AR-15 military assault rifles. Why are some employees in the Department of Health and Human Services being trained by the Army Special Forces? Nearly 4,000 federal workers now pack heat. And they're not police or military, as I said. So what's going on? The article headline is, "Why does the IRS need guns?" After grabbing legal power, bureaucrats are now amassing firepower. It was written by Adam Andrzejewski, who is the founder of OpenTheBooks.com, which advocates for transparency in public spending. Adam, let me ask you the question. I was startled by the statistics you came up with, and that's the point. Why is this happening? Why are paper-pushing bureaucracies arming their employees?
Well, it's a great question, and we spent a lot of time on this oversight report, and our honorary chairman at OpenTheBooks.com is former U.S. Senator Dr. Tom Coburn. He was the 2014 Time Magazine, one of the 100 most influential people in the world. So with Coburn, we authored this op-ed describing our oversight report entitled The Militarization of America. What we found was very, very interesting, and I think everybody watching the program tonight, they can come to OpenTheBooks.com for more information, but we found that there are now, with arrest and firearm power, more federal officers, over 200,000, than there are United States Marines, at about 182,000.
So, Adam, is this part of the same militarization of police departments, that they're buying used military weapons? I mean, they look like assault forces now. Is this part of that same trend?
Well, it is part of the same trend, the overall militarization of America. So in the op-ed at the Wall Street Journal, we do delineate that even schools like the University of California at Berkeley procured 14 assault rifles, and Yale got 20 assault rifles. But across America, I think the new information that had not been quantified before is the 200,000 federal officers with arrest and firearm authority. And they're amassing, we found, in 67 federal agencies, $1.48 billion worth of guns, ammunition, and military stuff. Good
heavens! Well, Adam, where did the mandate for this come from? Is this just sort of an inexorable thing that large bureaucracies are tending to do because they can?
Well, think about this, Bill. We showed and we quantified from the federal checkbook 25 cents on every dollar worth of spending out of 67 federal agencies was actually out of 53 agencies that you and I would consider to be regulatory or general purpose agencies, like the IRS, like the VA, like the Animal Plant and Health.
Let me quote that. I pulled that out of your report. You write, again, the quote, "The Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service has spent nearly $5 million to buy shotguns, rifles, night vision goggles, thermal infrared rifle scopes, propane cannons, liquid explosives, buckshot." I'm running out of breath, but I could keep going on for about 30 more seconds.
Right, and the IRS, look, they've got a 90% customer satisfaction service rate on the surveys, and I think it's going to go higher.
All right, we'll get to the point of why.
Well, each of these agencies is going to make a public purpose argument. The IRS is going to make the argument that the world is a dangerous place, and their mandate has been expanded. They go after narcotics traffickers, for instance, and in order to compete with the weaponry that the bad guys have, they need to arm up. I think the purpose of our report is to show the vast size, scope, and scale across all agencies at the federal level in terms of this arming up.
Who's listening to you with this report now out?
Well, it trended #1 in the Wall Street Journal opinion section. Over the weekend, it was still in the top 5 most popular articles at the Wall Street Journal. It has resonated up on Capitol Hill. I have congressmen calling our office that have been even submitting legislation to demilitarize the federal agencies, and they didn't have access to this information. And their questions to us are, how did you quantify this? And so we've opened the books. If you come to our website, you can click on the report. Within the report, you can see the 36,000 individual government transactions that procured all of this weaponry.
Adam, let me turn to something else. You do a lot of writing, apparently. Here's something else. You wrote a column on Frank Motino, a colleague of Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan, appointed to replace the state's longtime Auditor General That's a lot of people don't know what the heck that is, but it's sort of like a watchdog for the state overseeing how money is spent. But that is a job all about integrity and honesty. But this guy, Martino, he's in trouble right now.
Right. So back in January, he was 10 days into a 10-year term. There are 2 Illinois constitutional officers with subpoena power. One is Michael Madigan's daughter, Lisa Madigan. The other one is now Michael Madigan's former second lieutenant in the Illinois House, Frank Martino. So we looked into him, and what we found was $500,000 out of his former campaign fund worth of odd transactions. There can be no answers to this to justify Frank Martino as the top auditor in the state of Illinois. You know, if we are the #1 most corrupt state in the country, we deserve an auditor with the utmost of integrity. And with this, and we're proud to say that our findings have resonated all the way into the federal law enforcement apparatus, where Frank Martino the other day pled the Fifth Amendment in front of the Illinois State Board of Elections. He's admitted to being under federal grand jury and federal subpoena.
Well, Republicans would like to see him take an unpaid leave of absence. Any chance that would happen?
Well, I certainly hope that he resigns his office. It's been 6 months now, Bill, and without any answers, this is the next Illinois constitutional crisis. It's certainly the next Illinois corruption crisis.
Okay, do you have any follow-ups coming out soon? You're clearly watching this case.
I was the first one in the state of Illinois right out of the blocks in January in an editorial of the Daily Herald to call for his resignation. I don't think there's any good answers here. I don't think this ends very well for Frank Martino, and he should resign his office.
Adam Andrzejewski with OpenTheBooks.com. Adam, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for your interest in our work.
Well, next up, the mismanagement of the state